Consider for a moment that dogs, those creatures we so often take for granted in our daily lives, are much more than just companions. Their presence at our side is not accidental, nor is it simply the result of evolution or biology. It may be part of a greater design that goes beyond the human mind and into the deepest recesses of our being. These creatures, often perceived as mere pets, may be messengers of light, keepers of our lost wisdom, and conduits of an energy far more ancient and sacred than we can comprehend. Dogs, with their unconditional devotion and boundless love, are in fact spiritual masters in disguise. They seek no recognition or demand anything in return except our presence, but what they give cannot be overstated. They bestow a love that demands nothing, judges nothing, and forgives everything. Many spiritual teachings and ancient beliefs claim that dogs are not simply descendants of wolves, as science claims, but embodiments of a celestial force that transcends our limited understanding of origin and purpose. Although they share a genetic link with their wild ancestors, one must ask, what lies beyond the physical world? What unseen purpose guides their kind hearts? Modern science, ancient mysticism, and intuitive perception converge on the astonishing belief that dogs are not only of Earth, but also of the heavens, that their souls are born from dimensions beyond time and space, sent here not simply to exist, but to help, guide, heal, and teach. They come into our lives not to be clever, but to change the vibrations around us, giving a love so unconditional that it humbles the human heart and reminds us of our own potential for greatness. Dogs come into our world as guardians of compassion, building energetic connections with us and offering comfort in moments when we don't even know we need it. At the very core of our being lies a truth that shakes the foundations of our understanding. True evolution is not a product of the mind, nor is it measured by intellectual achievement or social success. Real evolution begins in the soul and blossoms in the realm of the spirit. And on this sacred path, dogs walk alongside us as equals and as guides, who light our way with their silent wisdom and endless love. From a materialistic perspective, dogs may seem less evolved than humans. They don't build cities, write books, wage wars, or dream of conquering the stars. But what does that really say about evolution itself, if it is defined by the ability to love, to give without expectation, and to heal without conditions? Perhaps we have the most to learn from them, for they have saved us many times without speaking, not in a metaphorical sense, but literally, physically, and metaphysically. Their connection with us is not just friendship, it is an energetic union forged in dimensions unseen. In our darkest moments, when sadness overwhelms us, when anxiety poisons the world, when illness threatens to tear us apart, our dogs are there. They don't speak, but their presence speaks for itself. Their silent presence has long been known to absorb the negative vibrations that plague us, becoming living agents of transformation. Scientific research into the therapeutic effects of pets has revealed a startling discovery. Dogs, without realizing it, take on the emotional and physical burdens of their owners. They become mirrors of our pain, carriers of our sorrows. This act of energetic sacrifice, the willingness to bear our injuries and illnesses, is the highest expression of love. It is a love that transcends human understanding, a love that is neither romantic nor parental, but something far more ancient and infinite. There are many stories that claim that dogs fall ill soon after their owners, as if their souls were so closely connected to us that the suffering must be shared, even if it means their own demise. There are also those who claim that dogs die soon after their owners, as if their mission in this world is complete. This is not just sentimentality, it is a sacred secret. But as with all sacred reality, not every person values this divine connection. Throughout history and even today, there have been those who have exploited these noble beings, using their energy for their own selfish or dark purposes. Ritual abuse, energy manipulation, such things exist, and they are a betrayal of the sacred trust that dogs place in us. Therefore, it is our responsibility to protect them, just as they protect us. Dogs are not tools, not objects to be dominated. They are beings of light, and their purpose is to love, not to control. Many of us have experienced at least once a mysterious connection with a dog, a connection that cannot be explained, as if it were written into the very fabric of our existence. Perhaps you too have felt that your dog has healed you, saved you from something, or appeared at a time when you needed them most. If so, your story is part of a larger truth that unites us all. Dogs are not just animals, they are beings of vibration whose presence helps to raise our own frequencies. They are here to awaken us, to lift our spirits, and to teach us what no human teacher could ever teach us: how to love purely, freely, and unconditionally. The greatest teacher is not the one who speaks wisdom, but the one who loves without conditions. And in this, dogs are masters without equal. Their most important energy centers are in the solar plexus and the heart. These centers receive and transmit vibrations from the environment, tuning into the emotional states of those they love. This is why dogs often sense danger before we do, why they come to us when we cry, when we suffer, when we tremble under the weight of invisible troubles. They do not judge us, they simply feel us. Their connection with us is so deep that it seems to have been arranged by something greater than chance. Like trees growing in silence, dogs' mission unfolds quietly, invisibly, but powerfully. They do not announce themselves as healers. They do not come with grandiose proclamations, and yet when they come into our lives, it is always at the most opportune moment. It was as if somewhere in the vast structure of the universe a thread had been pulled and they were sent to us just when we needed them, even if we ourselves were not yet aware of it. In their silent devotion and radiant presence, dogs teach us life's most sacred lessons: the purity of love, the beauty of selflessness, and the profound power of sacrifice. And so, bright soul, as you ponder this truth, ask yourself, how many people truly love the way a dog does? Unconditionally, without expectations, simply, completely, and forever. The answer, as you may have already sensed, reveals something both humbling and divine. True love has always been and remains a mystery, and in a dog's eyes, we are given a glimpse of that mystery, a light that calls us to remember who we are and who we can become. The mystery unfolds before us, not through words, but through their eyes, their gestures, and the joyful huskies that seem to speak directly to our souls. With every glance, every wag of a tail, every gentle nudge of a nose, they silently offer us something profound, a lesson in love, loyalty, presence. But the question remains, are we as humans truly ready to learn from them? Perhaps this is what true evolution looks like. Not technological progress, not planetary conquest, but a humble recognition of wisdom in forms we often overlook. Dear bright creatures, the bond between people and dogs is hidden deep, far beyond what we usually perceive. It is not just friendship or domestication, it is something sacred, something ancient. We often think that it is we who choose the dog. Walking through shelters, looking at ads, or meeting a stray dog on the street, we believe that the choice was ours, but in fact, the dog chooses us. It is in his honest look, in that unchanging look, when something changes inside us, in that moment when the mind retreats and the heart begins to act. This moment, when it seems that we choose, in fact, reveals a truth that goes beyond our understanding. These creatures, these entities with fur and a boundless spirit, choose us, and they do it with precise calculation, appearing in our lives at the very moment when we need them. When life gets too hard, when we lose our way, they come not by chance, but as part of a greater plan that we are rarely aware of. Their presence is not an accident. It is synchronicity. And in that precise moment, an eternal bond is formed, a bond that goes beyond physical presence. It is not only an emotional bond, but an energetic one. This bond is not a product of chance, but the result of cosmic harmony. It is a meeting arranged by forces we do not yet understand. Dogs come into our lives to teach us the most powerful form of love, love without conditions. Love that demands nothing, condemns nothing, holds no grudges. Love that forgives instantly, remains playful and joyful despite human imperfection. They know no revenge. They do not feed on malice. Their nature is free from the emotional shackles that we humans often carry throughout our lives. In their essence, dogs embody the most genuine love, pure, unfiltered, and always giving. And when we betray that love, when we abandon them or treat them cruelly, something changes. Something ancient awakens in their primal essence, something connected to their wolf roots. They can become cold, distant, even aggressive. That beautiful energy flow they radiated begins to fade. But here's the magic. Even after they've been hurt, even after they've been broken, if we offer them love again, if we show them care and gentleness and attention, they'll come back. They forgive. They love again. There's no other creature on earth that has the potential for emotional resurrection that a dog has. They remind us of our own ability to return to love, to rise again after a fall. They don't hold grudges, they don't carry trauma like we do. They just move forward, offering love, as if the pain had never existed. Dogs, with their exceptional sensitivity, are not just companions in the physical world. They are energetic beings, deeply attuned to the vibrational fields around them. They receive and transform energy. They absorb the emotional undertones of their environment, not just the obvious ones like anger or joy, but the subtle frequencies that lie beneath the surface. When a person carries destructive emotions, rage, grief, despair, the dog silently goes into the work of transmutation, absorbing that energy and changing its frequency before it can harm its beloved master. This process is not limited to one person. Dogs extend their protection to the entire family, to each home, to each member of their pack. This is why caring for them is so important. They need clean water, nutritious food, rest, and attention. These are not just acts of kindness, but essential elements that allow them to continue to clear and heal the energy they encounter. Some dogs benefit greatly from energy practices such as Reiki, which help them release the burdens that accumulate within them. Dogs do not finish their work in the physical world. Like humans, they enter the higher dimensions when we sleep. Our frequencies change, we enter altered states of consciousness. During these sacred hours of rest, our dogs often do the same. They too can travel, separate, and move through invisible spaces, and there, in the silence of the astral world, they become guardians, protectors of our energy field. They watch over us, sometimes taking forms that our subconscious minds can recognize, bringing comfort and protection as we pass through the subtle worlds of spirit. There are cases where dogs refuse to enter certain rooms, houses, or spaces. Why? Because the energy in those places is too dense, too heavy, too toxic. They sense what we cannot, and by avoiding those places, they protect themselves and us from absorbing harmful vibrations. They are not only protecting themselves, but us as well. Their refusal is an act of love. Every day, dogs show us the possibility of living in higher states of being. They remind us what it means to love without judgment, to stay in the present moment, to forgive quickly, and to serve selflessly. In return, they ask for so little: a kind word, a place to rest, a little love, and above all, recognition. Not as pets, but as spiritual companions, energy healers, and eternal friends who walk with us, not behind us. To live with a dog is to walk with a being that came into this world with a purpose that is hidden, but always sacred. Maybe we didn't save them, but they saved us. Some believe that in certain cases, dogs have lost their lives for a deeper reason: their spiritual role as protectors and cleansers of energies. In movies like The Conjuring, we see examples of how dogs, when exposed to heavy and negative energies, can suffer physically due to their unique ability to absorb and neutralize these dark forces. They protect not only our homes, but also our loved ones energetically, sometimes at the cost of their own well-being. Dogs communicate with us in subtle and powerful ways. One of these is their frequent snoring. Although many people think that dogs only pant when they are tired or hot, it is actually a profound energetic process. Snoring serves as a form of energetic sweating, similar to how humans sweat to release toxins. Dogs pant to release energetic loads that they absorb from the environment and from us, their owners. Even the constant wagging of their tails plays an important role in the spiritual connection they maintain with us. This is not a random movement. It stimulates and harmonizes our root and sacral chakras, which are the main centers of our life energy. It is as if, through their joyful gestures, dogs are actively raising our vibrational frequency, gently activating those parts of us that are associated with physical stability, emotional security, and the joy of existence itself. When we consider that dogs live, on average, only about 1/8 of a human lifetime, it may seem unfair. But this short life is not a limitation. It is a sign of their spiritual mission. They come into our lives to accompany us through powerful cycles of transformation. Just as the human body renews its cells every 7 to 10 years, dogs help us through these periods of renewal, helping us to uplift our emotions, heal inner wounds, and learn the deepest lessons of unconditional love. They act as silent healers who transform our pain and carry our emotional burdens, helping to rewrite the information stored in our cells. Their howl is not just a cry into the night, it is an energetic warning, a signal that negative vibrations are nearby. Some dogs even sense events before they happen, as if their spirits are tuned not only to the present, but also to vibrations of the future or to developments that are happening far away, beyond space and time. Dear souls, the presence of a dog in our lives is not an accident. It is a cosmic blessing, a sacred encounter. Dogs are not just pets, they are protectors, guardians of energy, spiritual guides who bring pure and unconditional love into our lives. Their eyes, deep and knowing, recognize our soul before we recognize our own. We do not choose them, they choose us. They find us when we need them most. Silently entering our lives, they fulfill a mission that is far greater than our human minds can comprehend. Beloved beings of light, there is a deep mystery surrounding our canine companions, a mystery that eludes explanation and extends into dimensions we cannot see. Often we hear dogs howling before earthquakes or natural disasters. They become restless, agitated, not out of fear, but because they sense energetic changes occurring beneath the surface of the earth. These are not just instincts. They are connections to the vibrational fields that govern our universe. At such moments, we begin to realize that dogs, like humans, are multidimensional beings. Scientists who study energy fields have long stated that humans operate not only in the physical plane, but in other dimensions as well. Dogs, too, move through these dimensions. They sense what is not seen, perceive what is not heard, and sense what has not yet happened. They are, in a sense, guardians of the invisible, protectors of what is yet to happen. From an energetic perspective, many human practices can be confusing and even harmful. For example, the tradition of cutting off dogs' tails and ears for aesthetic purposes. What may seem superficial at first glance becomes a deeply disruptive practice on an energetic level. A dog's ears are not just hearing organs. They serve as antennas that receive cosmic energies. They house the crown chakra, which connects the dog to universal energy, allowing it to sense the most subtle vibrations around it. The tail, too, is not just an expressive limb. It is an important energetic conductor through which the dog maintains harmony with the emotional frequencies of its environment. Removing or altering these parts disrupts its natural spiritual alignment, destroying part of its energy field. Such a practice no longer has a place in the enlightened world. Adopting a dog is an act of spiritual connection. It is a gift of love not only to another being, but to yourself. When you adopt a dog, you are not simply bringing an animal into your home. You are opening your heart to a soul destined to walk with you, to help you heal, to grow, and to love more deeply. Adoption is empathy in action. It is the recognition of the divine spark in another living being. In contrast, buying a dog turns a sacred soul into a commodity. When we place a price on a being whose love cannot be measured, we reduce their essence to something transactional. Their true value is not in the money we pay, but in the love they bring, the lessons they teach, the healing they offer. If dogs cost millions of dollars, perhaps we would consider the value of them for what they really are, creatures of light, devotion, and ancient wisdom. Of course, there are responsible breeders who care deeply about their dogs, but they are the exception, not the rule. Most dogs in need are not found in expensive catalogs. They are waiting in shelters, on the streets, in the corners of our towns and villages, bearing wounds we cannot see. Many stray dogs appear to be heavy with dark energy, and some believe that this is the reason for their rejection. But these dogs are not cursed. They carry what others could not bear. They are vessels of unwanted energy, patiently waiting for someone to see beyond the surface and offer them love. When you open your heart to such a dog and give them a better life, you create a wave of healing that extends far beyond that moment. Like a stone dropped into a calm pond, the love you show radiates, raising the frequency of your home, your family, your energy field. When a dog dies, its presence does not disappear from the subtler dimensions. It continues to be with its owner, guarding and guiding them on their further journey, even in a world where they are no longer physically present. So, the next time you look into your dog's eyes, don't just see the physical being next to you. See the sacred being within. Acknowledge their spiritual mission. Acknowledge the invisible but powerful connection you share. These beings, with their unwavering love and silent wisdom, have come into your life with a purpose. They are here at this precise moment in your journey because your soul has called them and they have responded. Let them remind you that you love beyond measure, that even in the hardest moments you are not alone. Let them inspire you to love more, to forgive more, to heal, and to embrace the sacredness of every moment. And with this deep understanding, I invite you to continue this journey of spiritual exploration. Continue to learn, continue to expand. Let these truths take root in your heart and transform your perception. There is so much to see and understand, so many unseen energies and connections just waiting to be revealed. This is just the beginning. If your soul feels called, continue to observe, continue to explore, continue to walk with me on this path. Together, we will uncover even more secrets that connect us to the universe, to our companions, and to the divine. You are not alone in your search for meaning, light, and love. We are in this together. Go forth and allow love and wisdom to shape your life in ways you never imagined.